So I'm doing a Cole Porter tune a week. Every other week is only on Patreon for my patrons as bonus content for them. But this week we'll do In the Still of the Night. And if you're here for the Whitesnake tune, this is the wrong video. This is the Cole Porter tune. You know the drill. We'll play the melody together. I'll take a solo and you come for me, and then we'll trade choruses. And then we shall see what happens. I'm using my Aebersold again. This is the last tune of the Aebersold, and I'm done with this. And I have removed the piano in the mix, so we can comp for each other. So it's kind of quick. It's like medium up, I guess. So I hope you're ready.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
the melody. Yeah, so that's pretty quick. I've heard this played in many different versions, like bossa nova. I think what's her name, Jane Monet does it as bossa nova, but it's gonna be very long if you play it like that. It's a long form. This is something I've noticed with all these Cole Porter tunes. He almost always does this. He plays an A section, or he introduces an A section, then the A section repeats, like in almost every jazz tune, B section. But a lot of jazz tunes has the A section again, so it's A, B, A. But he'll come back with the A section, but he'll kind of extend it into something else, which makes it interesting. Remember, these are tunes from musicals, but it makes it also harder to remember. That's why a lot of people don't call these tunes like this one on jams, because it's hard to remember all these chord changes. You could play it as a bolero. It's gonna be very long, so if it's like a big arrangement with strings and everything, yeah, it's nice. But if you're playing it on a gig and it's just like a trio, it can be kind of a little bit too long. Ella Fitzgerald does this like that, I think, like a bolero, but I mean, it's Ella Fitzgerald. So if you want to check out some recordings of Cole Porter compilations, or like celebration of Cole Porter, like tribute albums, Ella Fitzgerald is probably the most famous one. It's called the Cole Porter Songbook, and there's like 2 volumes, and I think it was the first release on Verve Records, actually. There's also, of course, many Frank Sinatra compilations of Cole Porter tunes, and Julie London does a really good one, and I think Joe Pass is the guitarist on that one. We also have Oscar Peterson. If you want a guitar player, one of my Patreon subscribers introduced me to this recording with Philippe Catherine, which is a French guitarist, or actually I think he's Belgian. And so if you want a guitar player playing Cole Porter tunes, that's a really good album with him. Surprisingly, perhaps, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga made a Cole Porter recording not too long ago, and it's very good. Please let me know in the comments if you can think of other like albums with Cole Porter tunes that you think we should listen to. So again, the chords are not necessarily the chords that are in the original musical version. I think it's F major to F minor, 6. remember when the melody note is the F, the root, you want to be careful. Most jazz charts says major 7 by default, but it's not always a good idea to play major 7. If I play this chord and the vocalist is going do, D, I could play something like. I recommend playing 6 chords. Like, it sounds like old-timey, but it is an old-timey tune. And then we have this. So I played a triad there. I like triads. Then you have this kind of motion. So it could be I'm looking at F major 7, but again, it's not going to sound good because the vocalist is really hitting that F. So some kind of F major chord. Why not try it? And then it says A7 sharp 5 to B flat. It's like that, same kind of thing, right? My Sunday, my praise will come. It could also be F major 7 and the line cliche. So just this major sharp 5 augmented. But I think it's better to just leave it open. Don't play anything, because a good musician, a good piano player, they will hear, aha, there's that thing, and then they can play those chords if they feel like it, but they don't have to. And this note, the E, you might say, well, that's a Lydian chord. And it is. But not really, because the note is kind of resolving. So if you're playing a Lydian voicing, you're not resolving, right? So it's better in this case. This is one of those things that the jazz theory book doesn't really explain sometimes. They say, well, it's a sharp 11. Even here, the chord voicing says +4. I'm looking at the A resolve. But I would recommend not playing that extension, because it's not an extension, it's a passing note or a leading note. So if I play a B flat, that's where the note wants to go, right? So Lydian chords doesn't really exist in this kind of music, right? Like that's modal jazz. If I play this chord, that note just sits there, it doesn't want to resolve. But in a musical, it's like it's definitely a note that wants to resolve. So you see the difference? If it's an extension, go ahead and play a Lydian chord. But if it's not an extension, it's a note that is kind of suspended, then it's better to not play a sharp 11 in the voicing unless you're going to resolve it. So you can do that. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, I'm done with this book. I really recommend this. It's a good A resolve, really good rhythm section to play along with, which is more exciting than the I'm Real Pro swing, right? So I hope you're enjoying these Cole Porter tunes, learning these Cole Porter tunes as much as I am. I had never played this tune before, and now I know this tune, so I hope you do too. And I want to thank you for your time and attention, and I shall see you next time.